this is the last time I'm doing this. You know what? I'm gonna go and pester him. One I'm gonna pester him. Oh dear. All right. Yeah. As I was saying,
Ethiopia. Whoa, yeah. Ethiopia. Whoa, yeah.
yo, Babylon, no, listen, Babylon knows to them dead, you know. 'Cause I'm gonna make you guys aware of certain things. Babylon know them dead. That's why they keep cutting me off. Alright, listen to that rhythm, yeah.
Come Ethiopian, come. We live in Babylon.
Alright, where was I? Yeah, this is where I was. They teach us in Sunday school, in school, in your books, on your radio, in the newspapers, and all of these things that God has no color. Right? And they give us an image of Yeshua the Christ. Now, in the book of Exodus and the commandments, it tells you, commandment 1 goes like this, I'm paraphrasing, yeah? It says, thou shalt not have no other God before me, full stop. Commandment 2 basically says what number 1 says, but he adds on to it. Hear what he says. Hear what commandment 2 says. Thou shalt not have no other God before me. Yeah? And it elaborates. It says, thou shalt not have no craven image of, here's the most important word, any likeness. So that means if you have a picture of a black Messiah, God will charge you for that. If you have a picture of a white Messiah, God will charge you for that. If you have a picture of an Indian God, God will charge you for that. If you have a picture of the Chinese God, God will charge you for that. Listen to what I'm saying. Yeah? This is what the commandment says in Exodus 1 and 2. Here's the kicker. God is going to reveal himself. If you want to know what the Messiah looks like, go to Revelations 1. Revelations mean to reveal. And the revelation tells you, say that he has hair of wool, eyes of fire, feet of burnt brass. That is the image of the Most High. In the book of Daniel, it tells you what the Most High looks like. If you don't believe me, read the Bible for yourself, but read it word for word. Don't listen to what your pastor say. The Most High has given everybody intelligence. We say lightning. We are being distracted. Don't follow what they teach us. Don't follow what they teach us. Look for yourself. It's not what I'm saying. The Bible was written way before I was born. Trust me. If you want to know, read in Exodus when Moses got the commandment. Read the first two, just the first two. The first two commandments, the Most I tell you, and read in the book of Revelations 1, it tells you the description of the Most High. His eyes was red as fire because Christ drank wine. This is why our children are killing each other, because we do not know our history. Listen to this tune. I forget the author. The author's going to come back to me. The author's going to come back. But he wrote a book called They Came Before Columbus. And the brother's name is beating me. But he came before Columbus. And there's documentations by the Indians, the Native Americans, that Africans was traveling across the Atlantic before Europeans. It's a fact. A fact is according to the evidence. That's what a fact is. But we are not taught that in school. We were taught that we were slaves. But if you go beyond slavery, you will find out our true history. This is a fact. I'm giving you a fact now. Europeans, when they were in the caves, this is why they are called Caucasian. No disrespect. No disrespect when I say this. This is a fact. I learned this when I did jury service. A fact is according to the evidence. Europeans, when they were in the caves of Europe, this is why they are called Caucasian. Don't listen to me. Prove me wrong. This is why they are called Caucasian, because they came from the Caucasus Mountains. Africa, this is why they took ancient Kemet out of Africa, south beyond the Nile, beyond the south of the Sahara Desert. They made Egypt out. Anyway. They were building pyramids before they came out of the caves of Europe. This is a fact. Don't listen to me. This is a fact. According to the evidence. That's what you call a fact. When you go in a court of law, they will quote the evidence and then they will try to counter. This is what it's about. Columbus never set foot on American soil. Never. That is a fact. Listen to what Burning Spear says. How could you discover something when people are already living there? Listen.
mix up a whole heap of beno, and have to straighten out. Christopher Columbus is a damn blasted lion. Christopher Columbus is a damn blasted lion. Yes, John.
It really is. And the history books are lying. Has anybody seen that Michael Jackson when he's on the stage? He had one tune to do with Sony. Yeah? One tune. And he said the history books are lying. Big up my big personality DJ, Mr. Trevor Ranks. And I've got to be honest. This tune was made famous in Birmingham. This tune that I'm going to play. Trevor Ranks, anywhere you're there. You and your wife, Jennifer. I'm all of my family. Listen to this tune. Listen tune.
None of my doings shall never go wrong. I'm a man of prayer. None of my doings shall never go wrong.
Listen to the words. Listen.
Jah hear I when I cry. Jah hear I when I cry. 'Cause I'm a great meditator. Yes, I'm a great meditator. Wicked around like a roaming lion.
My people, do not sell out your culture. Listen to what I'm saying. Do not sell out. Yeah, trust me. When I say this, when you're in school, you're trained. Me read book and learn. I took a trip to ancient Kemet on my own with a book and started to learn. I took a 3-hour trip when I was in ancient Kemet, which they call Egypt today. A 3-hour trip that started 3 o'clock in the morning. They wake you up. The temple is called Abu Simbel. You can Google it. Abu Simbel. And when I went into the temple, this is what I saw. On the walls of the temple, there's a depiction of a war. And the Pharaoh was traveling on a chariot, naked, and in body stand up, straight, jet black. Listen to what I'm saying. Black. The man's whole body was black. I've been to the Valley of the Kings. I've been to the Valley of the Queens. I've been to the Great Pyramids in Cairo. When you go to Luxor, the city in Luxor, you have 2 temples, one on the left, one on the right. I think it's the one on the right is where the first baptism took place. When you look at Washington, D.C., when you have the big, what do you call it? They call it the obelisk and the water. This is what you see when you go there. I see that with my own eyes. They are robbing you of your history. Trust me, people. I've did it. I've gone to Ethiopia. And when I went to Ethiopia, where did we go? Hold on. The names, it fails me now, but Aksum, the north of the country. When you go to Aksum, there's some pillars. There's a church that is majesty built. But they also have in Aksum the Ark of the Covenant. And you have a thing what they call Solomon's stool, where Solomon sat. This is in Aksum in Ethiopia, in Africa. They are lying to us. You can't hide the truth. It's Jah works, you know, trust me.
I'm a man of prayer. None of my doings shall never go wrong. I'm a man of prayer. None of my doings shall never go wrong. Jah hear I when I cry.
I want to pull up this tune from my bridging. 1979 to 1984, Curly B. Big up the eye serve. True inspiration.
I'm a man of prayer. None of my doings shall never go wrong. I'm a man of prayer. None of my doings shall never go wrong.
When I cry, listen, listen.
I'm a great meditator. Yes, I'm a great meditator. Wicked around like a roaming lion, trying to destroy thy sons and daughters. Wicked around like a roaming lion, thy sons and daughters. Although I trod through the valley of Babylon, although I trod through the valley of those wicked men, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me from the beginning till this day on and on and on, 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 on and on and on. Jah hear I when I cry. Jah hear I when I cry. 'Cause I'm a great meditator. Yes, I'm a great meditator.
It's all about education. And when I mean, good evening, Miss Soulfine. Today's about education. Let me recommend some books for you to read. Yeah, The Miseducation of the Negro. I think the brother's name is Walter Williams. My books are there somewhere. I read. Yeah, The Philosophies and Opinion of Marcus Garvey. Good book to read. Yeah, When We Ruled by Robin Walker. Good book to read. I haven't even finished that. I've got a draw. Really good book to read. It gives you the parallel. That's what he does. It gives you the parallel in the sense of, like, we're in 2022. It gives you the parallel what Africans was doing in 2022, what Europe was doing in 2022. That's basically what that book is. It's a brilliant book. Robin Walker. Brilliant book to read. He tells you about, England likes to talk about their industrial revolution. And he shows you they were making and doing steelworks thousands of years. The Greeks, yeah? The Greeks, who they get their philosophies and all of this from, is 2,000 years younger than the ancient Commetans. Aristotle and them people had to learn outside of the temples. With the children, they couldn't go in. 30 years you had to study. Imhotep, the greatest physician the earth has ever seen. An African looked like me and you. This is what I'm... People. History. This next tune is significant to me. It's significant to me. Today in Ethiopia and Eritrea, they celebrate Good Friday, the real Good Friday. The real Good Friday, as I was saying earlier, is to do with the fertility god, pagan god, Ishtar, with an I. Not Easter, Ishtar, with the bunny rabbit, for fertility. Nothing to do with the Messiah. Listen to this tune.
Well now, hey, whoa, well, the promised land, going to the promised land. Yes, the promised land.
Who wants to go to the promised land? Right in the chat room, promised land. Listen, Dennis Brown, listen.
Make a step down to Asmara, then we stop in Addis Ababa, made our way to Shasha, riding on the King's Highway, to the promised land, going to the promised land, oh gosh, to the promised land, oh, to the promised land, well. There's plenty of land for you and I, by and by. Lots of food to share for everyone. No time for segregation in the promised land. Oh gosh, take me to the...
Listen, let me tell you about music, yeah? Especially music that comes from the Caribbean. Especially. It's called social commentary. This is a prime example of social commentary. Dennis Brown was hard on drugs when he made this record. Hard on drugs. Crack cocaine to be precise. And his brethren and brethren came and said, no, Dennis, man, and I you this. Come. And he took his trip to Africa. And the first place he stayed was in Eritrea, which is the capital, Asmara. Yeah, this is what he's talking about. It's social commentary. People just listen to to the beat, listen to the words. They're translating something to us, but we're not paying attention. And I'm going to play the tune and I'm going to break it down to you what Dennis Brown is singing about.
Well now, hey, well, the promised land, going to the promised land.
Listen what Dennis is saying. To the promised land.
Oh gosh now.
To the
Land, well,
first place, Eritrea.
Down to Asmara,
Capital of Ethiopia.
in Addis Ababa.
Shashamani, where Selassie I give way.
Shashamani,
King's Highway, take it to Kenya. Buju sang,
to the
Buju sang the song. I can't remember the name what Buju saying. There's a song that Buju is basically repeating what Dennis Brown is saying. And Dennis Brown did this in the 80s. People, broaden your horizon.
well now, hey, well, the promised land, going to the promised land. Yes, the promised land, oh gosh now, to the promised land. Well, make a step down to Asmara. Then we stopped in Addis Ababa. Made our way to Shashamani land. Riding on the King's Highway to the promised land. Going to the promised land. Oh gosh, to the promised land. Oh, to the promised land. Well, there's plenty of land for you and I, by and by.
Let me tell you something, what I learned in Ethiopia. I learned this in Ethiopia. I've been Ethiopian 8 times, I think. 6 times. When the king was alive, the king used to sit underneath the tree and said, when is my people coming home? This is what the king used to say. When is my people coming home? 2, to my knowledge, you lot can educate me. There's only 2 African leaders that gave land to Africans in the diaspora. Haile Selassie and Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana gave land, and we never take the opportunity. Come on, people. Travel. Travel. That's all I'm saying. Africa is beautiful.
Talking about the promised land. Yes, to the promised land.
Sometimes it's not all about boom boom and dance, you know. The next one is another Dennis Brown tune I'm going to play. And the next tune is called The World is Troubled. And the reason why I play this is because we're going to talk about Ukraine. That's what we're going to talk about, Ukraine. When Ronald Reagan and Mikhail Gorbachev was around, and Margaret Thatcher, it's that era we're talking about. Yeah? The Americans and the Russians came to an agreement that they would leave Ukraine alone. So let me give you the parallel. The parallel is this. When Russia wanted to put nuclear weapons in Cuba. The Americans said, no, you can't do that. You're too close to a country. 30 years later, we have the Ukrainians. The Americans and NATO told the Ukrainians, it's going to be lovely. Miss Sophie, I'm so happy that you're going to Ghana. You need to go to Elamina Castle. But that's another story. Let me get this before Facebook cut me off. Let me tell you about Ukraine. The Americans with NATO signed a deal, said that they would not put NATO in Ukraine. They told them, get rid of your weapons. This is what they told the Ukrainians. Get rid of your weapons. And you'll be all right. This is why Russia invaded them. Now, I have an issue with this. My issue is this. Yeah? Imagine, I'm going to be in a fight and I draw for Mike Tyson and I say, Mike Tyson, I want you to go and back me because there's a bully over there and he's bullying me. But when it's time to come to fight, Mike Tyson said, you better fight yourself. That's basically what NATO, England, and America did to Ukraine. Russia is within their right because they signed a deal with the Americans that they would leave Ukraine alone. This is why they're fighting. And the issue that I have with Ukraine, yeah, is that basically what they're saying is that leave the black people them there so that Russia can bomb them. And now you see people wearing badges with the Union Jack and the Ukrainian flag on their chest. But yet still, when it was time for them to make Africans come up, which we don't have no involvement in this war, you want Russia to bomb Ukraine with Africans in there. Wake up, my people. If you cannot see the signs, listen to what Dennis Brown is singing. Listen.
For the world is troubled and living ain't easy. The world is troubled. You got to believe it. The world is troubled and living ain't easy. I said the world is troubled. You got to believe it. Cast away all evil spell. Don't play a hero, you'll end down in hell. You've got your troubles and I've got mine. Let's work together to make things fine. Gotta be sure of all things we do. Preserve our lives, be pure and true. The things we feel and see were meant to be. It's the fulfillment of prophecy. I said the world is troubled and living ain't easy. I said the world is troubled.
The world is troubled.
Believe it, the world is troubled, yeah, and living ain't easy. I said the world is troubled. You got to believe it, why, yeah. Oh, right now.
It's all about the message in the music. It's not all about boom boom and dancing, trust me.
See,
crown prince of reggae music. I'm not lying. Enough people go to dance and listen music like this and they're crabbing, but not really paying due diligence to the words. Listen to the words of this song.
I call upon the leaders of this time to send the children home now in this time. I call upon the head of society to free the children out of captivity and send us home to Zion City. Send us home to Zion. Send us home. Fever, drink milk and honey. Send us home to Zion. Beautiful Zion.
Beautiful Zion. Listen. Music with meaning. Listen to this part of the song. Listen.
They say that slavery was abolished long, long time ago. Oh, yeah. And man should forward on now in this time. Now I know.
Send us home, send us home.
Send us home.
Figure, milk, milk, and honey. Next one is it's a Freddie McGregor tune, and not being funny, yeah. But for talk it as it is. Enough Rasta man a fraud. Then sing about we are go back to Africa. Then sing about repatriation is a must. And I'll know. I've been to Ethiopia, the promised land. And the Rastas them who are there are disappointed with the Rastas in the diaspora. No help for them. No support. They wanted to close down the school in Shashamane, the JDRC. Me, Tafari, and Naturalist did a walk from the Ethiopian church in Queenstown Road in Battersea to the Ethiopian embassy and raised over £500. But yet still you got some Rasta talk about Selassie is the Almighty and Selassie this and Selassie that. And not putting a penny towards the land that His Majesty give. So let me give you a context of what I'm talking about. People who have children is a gift from the Most High. It's a gift. When you have children, it's a gift. And it depends on how you treat that child. To how it will blossom like a flower. Yeah? Enough of them are taught about repatriation is a must. And I'll know them can't see Africa. I'll know them can't see Ethiopia. I'll know them can't do something for the land that Selassie, feed them God, feed them King. They cannot give something back. We call that hypocrisy. That's what it is. It's called hypocrisy. Listen to what Freddie McGregor says. Everybody want to run, come take it.
Everybody just a run, come to take it. But Israel don't have it already. Man, a time for you get steady, cause everybody don't know Jaja already. Africa, we're coming to take it. Here I come. Boy, 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 boy. Africa, here I come.
Hear what I'm saying to you. Selassie gave the land. I'm going to give you the true context of it, yeah? Selassie didn't give it to just Rasta. Don't get it twisted. Selassie gave it to any African who wants to come home. There's land for you in Shashamani. Yeah? But Rastas took it up. There's about 300 families in Shashamani who said them heal the king. And they're doing what they can, but they need help. All now the help can't come. All now the help can't come. Remember, you know, it's a gift from Fidem King. It's like a slap in the face. I give you land, uno say uno heal me, but you're not investing in the land that I gave you. It's a slap in the face. And I don't care who wanna vex, but it's the reality because I've seen the reality.
Everybody just a run, come to take it. But Israel don't have it already. Man, a time for you get steady, cause everybody don't know Jaja already. Africa, we're coming to take it. Here I come. Boy, 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 boy. Africa, here I come. Ethiopia land is best of all. Repatriate and make we take it all. No plan for you and I, man. Work hard and make we do it in a yard. Africa, we're coming to take it. Here I come. Oh, oh, oh. Africa, here I come. See your people coming. When we go there, we not run. Jaja.
Big hypocrite there. When we got there, listen to what he said. When we got there, we now run left it. You haven't been there in the first place.
Real nice people. When you reach there, I know you will see it. No plan for you and I, man. Work hard and make we do it.
Yeah. Till the Ethiopian government took it back. Trust me, people, if we were really serious, Shashamani would be one of the biggest cities in Ethiopia. Trust me. With all that money that those artists are making and them El Rastafari, and you don't invest in Shashamani, big up Sydney Salmon and his Imperial Majesty Band doing the works down there.
Here I come. See the Israelite them coming.
remember I had a conversation with Sizzler in Judgment Yard. And I'm going to try and paraphrase the conversation that I had with Sizzler. I remember one year Prince Charles went to Jamaica. And when he went to Jamaica, he visited some Rastafari. And when he visited the Rastafari, Prince Charles had on a tom with some locks. A red, gold and green hat with some locks. Yeah? And he was beating Rastafari Nyabingi drum, which is supposed to be sacred to Rastafari. Yeah? Supposed to be sacred to Rastafari. And the peoples whose ancestors enslaved you, murdered you, raped you, castrated you, and all manner of wickedness they did, you had beaten the sacred drum of Nyabingi. And when I asked Sizzler the question, how did that happen? One of the elders said, Babylon Bow. And I said, how? If you don't believe me, you can ask Sizzler himself. Listen to this tune.
Say me no like them kind of Babylon. Say me no dig them kind of wicked men. For I'm a righteous Rastaman, and I am a dread one-eye man. I and I going beat down Babylon. I and I going beat down Babylon. I and I must whip them wicked men. I and I must whip them wicked men. Oh, what a wicked situation. I and I starving. This might cause a revolution and a dangerous pollution. I and I going beat down Babylon. I and I must beat down Babylon. I and I going whip them wicked men. I and I going beat down Babylon. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Whip them, Lord, whip them, Lord, whip them, Lord, whip them, Lord, whip. Oh, what a wicked situation. I and I dying for salvation. This may cause a revolution and a dangerous pollution. I and I must beat down Babylon. I and I going beat down Babylon. I and I must beat down Babylon. I and I must whip them wicked men.
You know what? I'm playing one more, because this is a subject that, if you don't know me, I am very passionate about. I'm very passionate about my people. I am very passionate about our heritage, our culture, our history. I'm really passionate about that. I might laugh and joke, but if you want to get me serious, talk about my people. And you will see a different side to me. I think Facebook are kind of locking me off, because nobody's not coming in the room and stuff like that. But big up the people them in Mixcloud. It's just a history. I'm going to play this tune and I'm out. There's a particular part in the song that I love. If it's this one though. Have a listen.
I've got to get myself together. Yeah, can't afford to let my faith go. You know, whenever just sun comes shining, and my sisters are all smiling, no one isn't dying. My people are.
Listen, Dennis Brown.
We are living in the love of the Father.
Living in what?
Living in the house of the Almighty. Yeah, living in the love of the Father. Living in the house of the Almighty. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Right. Listen to this part of Dennis Brown's song.
the days of destruction will never be.
Why, Dennis Brown? Why? Why, Dennis? Why?
Not unto a wise man who will see.
Listen to Sucker Punch now.
Yet the fool thinks he knows it all.
Here comes later, he stumbles and falls. Why? He goes down for a reason. Why, Dennis Brown?
Jah is giving him a big.
I love that. I can't even find the other version. Yet the fool thinks he knows it all. Here comes later, he stumbles and falls. He goes down for a reason. Why? Jah is giving him a beating. What poetry is that? That is poetry in motion, Dennis Brown. I've got 10% of this battery left. So let me just play this tune and I'm out.
I've got to get myself together. Yeah, can't afford to let my faith go. You know, whenever just sun comes shining, and my sisters are all smiling, no one isn't dying. My people aren't crying. We are living in the love of the Father, living in the house of the Almighty. Yeah, living in the love of the Father, living in the house of the Almighty. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The days of destruction will never be. Oh no, not unto a wise man who will see. Yet the fool thinks he knows it all. Here comes later, he stumbles and falls. He goes down for a reason. Jah is giving him a beating to the foundation.